On October 10th, 2012, Richard James, more commonly known as Aphex Twin, put a full-sized grand piano on a pendulum and swung it back and forth on a stage in order to create a panning effect. Now, this is hilarious because a panning effect in audio production is not a hard thing to achieve. Any halfway decent audio engineer can make it happen digitally easily. Now, when we're speaking in terms of cinematography, one of the most popular, cool looks, not only now, but in the entire history of the medium, is the film look. And we have incredible technology to achieve this film look. We have film emulation, we have software that will create the effects and the color profiles. We even have cameras like the one Fuji's been putting out lately that incorporate all of the characteristics of film into the profile in camera so that when you pull it into your computer, it immediately looks at least really similar to film.
To illustrate this point, here's a shot I got on 16mm earlier this year. I also got the same shot on a digital camera, but applied film emulation. They look really close.
And yet, last year, I spent my life savings on this camera. This is an Arriflex SR. It's from the early 1980s, and I kind of describe it as the Porsche 911 of cameras, and that's a pretty great way to describe it. But recently something happened. I realized the camera needed work. The lens mount that was natively on it was an Arri standard bayonet mount, which is just not that great for modern lenses. My motherboard was starting to go out, my belts were getting worn. I also didn't have a digital video tap. So I realized I was gonna have to send it in. I sent it to Visual Products in Ohio. It's one of the last places that will work on these cameras. And I spent the same amount of money that I spent buying the camera on upgrading the camera. So now, the grand total of the money that I have spent on this camera is $14,000, which, for those of you keeping track, is about 5 times as much as I spent on this car.
So for all the dorks out there, I specifically wanted this to be perfectly Super 16, and in order to do that, I needed to convert my magazines. I'm not entirely positive what all that entails, but I do know it has to do with the pressure plate, and I think they also replaced this gear. I traded the old bayonet mount for an Arri PL mount, which is industry standard. The HyperTap 2 is basically a tiny camera that goes where the light meter used to. It lets you use a monitor without affecting the viewfinder. The motherboard electronics were all rebuilt and replaced, which is going to extend the life of the camera so much. All of this work was done by the legendary Paul Scaglione, which is very cool. All that plus a replaced belt means, yeah, it's perfect.
So the question is, in a world where we have the technology to emulate this look, to achieve this look, or at least something really close to it, why would I spend the resources, time, energy, and money into getting the real thing? And I think my answer would sound very similar to Aphex Twin's answer if you asked him why he put a grand piano on a pendulum. It's because it's cool. I think this camera being analogous to the Porsche 911 makes a lot of sense, because whenever I talk about 16mm film on my channel, people go, well, this just doesn't make sense, it's too expensive. And yeah, I know. You think I don't know that? Not everyone should be driving around in a Porsche 911. If I had one, I wouldn't drive around in it all the time. There's just like, it's kind of the interaction with an object that is an experience in and of itself, and it's not for everyone, and it's not for every situation, but it cannot be erased. We can't get rid of the Porsche 911s. We can't get rid of the Arriflex SRs. Someone has to care about this stuff. Someone has to make sure as we proceed into this highly technological future we're entering, that some of this craftsmanship gets brought along with us, that we don't lose this along the way. And even though I don't think everyone should go out and be buying 16mm cameras, I think more of us should aspire to the medium because it's cool, because there's a craftsmanship and an art and a history. There's more to it. The piano swinging on the pendulum, it's just more memorable, it's more cool. You know, out of all of the probably hundreds of thousands of performances that have happened since then that have incorporated a panning effect, none of them had a grand piano on a pendulum other than that one. That was the only one, and that's the reason it stands the test of time. It's because of the effort, it's because of the creativity, it's because of the backstory, it's because of the context, it's because of the artistry. And here's the other thing. This camera, This isn't just like a luxury purchase for me. I'm not a camera YouTuber that just buys it to talk about specs and then I leave it in my fancy studio and that's that. I got this back 1 week ago. I've already put 300 feet of film through it. I'm doing another 100 feet on Tuesday, and in early July, I'm doing a 400-foot roll. So I'm not just posturing here. This is real for me. I really believe in this. And I strongly, strongly believe that celluloid, film, I think its best days are still ahead of it. And if you don't believe me, I challenge you. I say, go to a thrift shop, get some stupid 35mm point and shoot camera, then go to Walmart, because Walmart still sells Fuji 400. I know, I live in a town with one of the smallest Walmarts in the country, and they still sell it there. It's a great film stock, no matter what anyone says. Put a roll of Fuji 400 into your new old point and shoot camera, get the scans back, and tell me it's not cool. And if that's the opinion you come away with, then you can get out of here. I don't even want you here because you're wrong. You just want to be the guy that, you know, types a prompt into ChatGPT and pops it out. I dare you to feel as creatively fulfilled as I do. I dare you to look at the byproduct and stand with your head held high, look someone in the eye and say, this is my creation. You can't do that. I can. I've been also using the example of Kill Bill, and I'm going to do some spoilers here because the point of the movie Kill Bill is to kill Bill, and the protagonist realizes the only way to do this is with this very specific craft, handmade samurai sword. And a huge part of the franchise is her just trying to acquire this sword. And the entire time that I've been making videos, I've been trying to acquire this samurai sword, and now that I've finally got it, you better believe I'm gonna be using it. Honor, strength, passion, creativity. These are things you will not find at ChatGPT, but you will find it here. This is my grand piano on a pendulum. This is my Kill Bill samurai sword. What is yours? Honestly, ask yourself that question. What are you aiming at? What are you pointing towards? Just something to think about.
I'm just wrapping up the editing on this video, and I don't have a sponsor for this one, but I do need film money. So I'm copying this idea from Joel Haver, but if you could just do me a favor and just watch the video again, just start from the beginning, watch all the way through till the end, double the ad revenue for me, better analytics. It would mean a lot. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Have a great day.